All right, so I think we're gonna wait a little bit. Hey, so we're good now. We're not sideways anymore. Show off the shirt. Oh, um, there is the shirt. Have I ever watched R.L. Stein's The Nightmare Room? No. The Nightmare Room. I don't even know what that is. The Nightmare Room. Hey, Shadow Bear. Uh, maybe maybe this is better. You got Iron Fist. You got Silver Surfer, Storm, Captain America, Cyclops, Thor, Iron Man, Spider Woman. Um, we got Spider Man, Black Cat, Daredevil, Colossus, Wolverine, Beast. We fucked the shirt. It's a long shirt. But this is very exciting, guys. I'm kind of in my. Well, thank you, Ty. Much appreciated. I am in a. I can't wait for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Definitely in that mode. So I figured rewatching the X-Men movies might, do well into getting me excited for this, or more excited if that's possible. Um, Bree hasn't Bree hasn't seen the X-Men. Holy shit! Imagine all Hulks in one movie. All Hulks in one movie. Honestly, that's not gonna. Having all of the Hulks together is not going to excite me the way that um, all of the Spider-Men did. You know, I don't have a huge connection to Lou Ferrigno, Eric Bana. I don't like that movie. Edward Norton. I like Edward Norton, but I don't know. I don't really. I wouldn't really. That wouldn't do much for me, if I'm being honest. Okay, so I think we should get ready. What do you guys think? Uh, that's very true, Ty. Ed Norton and Mark Ruffalo are supposed to be the same Hulk. There's no, you know, it's not like they're ever going to bring Terrence Howard back, right? Um, English subtitles. What do you prefer? Yellow. What would you expect? Yellow spandex? All right. So I'll tell you guys when to press play if you're gonna watch along with me. Uh, just for the record, I have the X Men trilogy on Blu-ray. I rebought them on Blu-ray a little while ago, a couple years ago. Shit. Pause. Shit. All right. Uh, the Last Stand is going to be a tough watch. You ain't kidding, brother. You ain't kidding. Shit. Pause, motherfucker. All right. I'm at. For some reason, it won't pause for me at point zero zero. um, so right now I'm at point zero five. What's my favorite X-Men film? Um, uh, I mean, it's between X2 and Days of Future Past, honestly. Um, it's tough. I have a lot of nostalgic, sentimental feelings about X2. I actually saw X2 before I saw X1. And I couldn't believe how awesome X2 was, as far as the Wolverine stuff, the Magneto stuff, Xavier, like certain characters I thought were perfectly done. Other characters, maybe not as much. The Nightcrawler moment in X2, the opening intro scene. But Days of Future Past, I think, does such a good. Days of Future Past might be just the best all around, like, you know, the way how they do the future stuff with the future cast, and then they go in the 70s with the younger cast. But all right, so I'm 5 seconds in. I'm going to press play in three, two, go. Play, goddammit. All right. 7 seconds, 8 seconds. Just letting you guys know where I am. 10 seconds in. All right. Hey, look who's here. Chucky. Ah! So, even though this is the complete collection, we are watching Mutation. It is the key to our evolution. This is the original. It's that Xavier voice, man. Season 2 needs to come out already. Season 2 of what? Patrick Stewart has a very memorable voice. Season 2 of what? Who would win in a roast battle, Chucky or Deadpool? Fuck. As great as Deadpool is, I think Chucky might beat him just because Chucky is a bastard, right? Like he's a horrible, horrible human being. So he will go as low as he needs to. Where Deadpool, he might actually offend Deadpool a little bit, and like catch him off guard. All right, here we go. The opening scene. Believe this is Auschwitz. Oh, season 2 of Chucky. Hell yeah. Absolutely. I can't wait for a season 2. Hopefully by the fall. Poland, 1944. When I first saw this movie, I remember thinking to myself, wow, we're doing it. Like we're treating a superhero comic book movie very serious, very grounded. Everybody talks about the Batman Nolan movies being grounded, and they are, believe me. But it's incredible that in the year 2000, they decided to take the X-Men in a grounded approach. What an inspired opening scene. Your birth year was 1944? Or are you talking about the year 2000? Very sad. Young Eric being separated from his parents. This happened to countless children, countless parents. Sad as fuck, right? I love the idea of the X-Men, even in the comics, the whole idea of certain historical moments. Like, what would they be like if the X-Men or if mutants existed during whatever historical event we're talking about. Yes, they do replay this scene at the beginning of First Class. Um, I don't know if they redo if they reshoot it, or if they just reshow the same footage. And damn, young Eric was just destroying the cage. Mutant and proud. Damn right. And the fucking cage door is completely torn up. Thoughts on Hugh Jackman as an actor? I think Hugh Jackman is great. I love Hugh Jackman as an actor. You know, if we're talking outside of Wolverine, like if you're talking about like his other films, he's great in Prisoners, The Prestige. Right now, we're being introduced to Rogue, a young Rogue. She's about to kiss her boyfriend. Call me a bastard, but I agree with Magneto in this movie. His motive made sense to me. Shit. Do I agree with Magneto in this movie? I feel like I agree with Magneto more so in X2. This movie, I think Magneto's kind of a pussy, the way how he kidnaps Rogue and it forces Rogue to do the machine instead. I feel like if Magneto really was all about the cause and really was all about like doing something for the right things, then he would sacrifice himself and die for his cause. So it makes me feel like he's a little bit of a bitch. Uh, and her poor David got. I know people don't like Anna Paquin as Rogue. I think acting wise, she does a good job though, especially in the first movie. The first movie is where she gets the most to do. I think every movie her role gets smaller and smaller, and then by the time she's in Days of Future Past, she's barely in the fucking movie. And now we have Jean Grey. The mutant community. Why was Rogue cut out of Days of Future Past? That's a very good question. I wonder the same thing myself. Because I like the Rogue cut of Days of Future Past. I like having Rogue in the movie more. I don't know why they cut her out as much as they did. It's a very good question. We must know who they are, and above all, we must know what they can do. Senator Kelly for president. It's a hell of a speech. There's Patrick Stewart. It's very interesting that Patrick Stewart and you have Magneto there with his hat on, just being present. Because technically, you could argue that Magneto is there out of curiosity, right? let's see how Homo sapiens would react to mutants, and clearly they don't react well. Ha- have they evolved? I will say that this is a great scene. I will bring you hope, old friend. I love how they have this sense of respect to where like Magneto could kill him, but he won't. I don't think Magneto would ever kill him. So I love that. I love more so in the first movie how they touch on that they used to be friends. They have that history. Once you start going into the prequel, you could argue in First Class how close of friends were they. But I do love the idea of seeing them as friends. There was actually going to be a deleted scene where we would get a rematch. What? A rematch of rematch between Toby and Goblin. A rematch between Toby and Green Goblin. I wouldn't have needed it. I would have liked maybe a little more interaction between them, but I don't know if I needed a fight. I think it was Tom Holland's movie, and so I wanted the fight that we got with Tom Holland almost killing Green Goblin and Toby stopping him. I was perfectly fine with that. There he is. There's Logan. Cage fighter Logan. This is such a fucking badass introduction to a character. This might be top 5 best introductions to a character ever. You don't even see Logan's face. You're just seeing the back of him. This whole time, we haven't seen his face yet. Oh, I love that. And look at Hugh Jackman, dude. Oh, you hear the metal. I'm stoked for the Wolverine game as well. If it's anything like the X-Men Origins Wolverine game, then it's gonna fucking be bonkers. Right back to smoking a cigar. I love it. Hugh Jackman, I can't. It's so hard to fathom that Hugh Jackman was not the original choice to play Wolverine. That he came in 2 weeks into production of this. They had to replace the original actor with Hugh Jackman. Like, there's no way that this would be as good. There's no way that it would be as impactful, as memorable. I don't think the Wolverine character would have gone to the heights. Yeah, Doug Ray Scott. I don't think that Wolverine would have left as much of an impression. Doug Ray Scott, I mean, he's an okay actor, but I can't picture him, doing this to the point where Wolverine becomes iconic, right? Wolverine will be iconic for comic book fans, but for people who only know Wolverine from the movies and from Hugh Jackman, I don't think he would have lasted as long. Why did they replace Doug Ray Scott? Because Doug Ray Scott was shooting Mission Impossible 2. He played the villain in Mission Impossible 2, and Mission Impossible 2 ran 2 weeks past schedule. So Doug Ray Scott became unavailable to do this movie. He was supposed to do it, but because Mission Impossible 2 was taking so long, they had to recast him. And so I guess Bryan Singer just fucking found Hugh Jackman off of Broadway and was like, Hugh Jackman, let's fucking do this. And he did it. And he did a fucking incredible job. Amazing job. Oh, it cuts the fucking gun. I love it. I love this. I love this. He doesn't even say anything. Wolverine being the silent. And you know, this has happened to him plenty of times where, like, he goes from town to town, makes his money, gets found out, bounces. The CGI gunpowder? Yeah, I know. I know. But there's a couple of CGI moments that are a little dated here, but I feel like for the most part, because they don't overdo the CGI, I think this movie still holds up. I think the claws look great. That one shot where the claws came out of his knuckle and you saw his skin like open up, that looked fucking good. Hugh Jackman definitely has the fuck you attitude from Wolverine. Absolutely. Absolutely. He pulls off the whole like, I don't give a fuck, leave me alone, I'll throw down if I have to, but, you know, I want to be left alone. I don't want trouble, but I can fucking back myself up. Huh? There's Rogue hiding in the back of his pick one. I saved your life. I like the way Rogue talks with that accent. That was it, Mississippi accent? What is it? And of course, Wolverine, you're not a dick. Don't leave her. Yes, I think this movie you can hear her accent. I don't think she has her accent as much in the sequels. I think the first movie though they did try to have her with an accent. I saved your life. What is that, jerky? So she named herself Rogue, even though her name was Marie before that. Tucks the fucking dog tags underneath his shirt. Anna Paquin is so young here. I watched Anna Paquin in True Blood, and she had a lot of sex scenes in True Blood. So seeing her young is very weird for me. And oh, I love this. When they come out, does it hurt? Every time. I love that. I love that. Fuck. It puts such a different context on Wolverine that he doesn't want to bring the claws out. Most of the time, he has to. He doesn't have a choice. And there's their. My name's Logan. Marie. So. Oh no! She told him to wear his seatbelt, and he just fucking went flying through the windshield. Now I know in the later movies, what do I think of Tyler Mane as Sabretooth? I would love a Hulk versus Wolverine movie. Absolutely. Absolutely. What sucks is that anything we do with Wolverine in the MCU, it won't be Hugh Jackman. And so, like, I'm not saying it should be Hugh Jackman, but because I come to think of Wolverine as Hugh Jackman almost synonymously, it's hard for me to picture somebody else playing Wolverine. Um, yeah, right. Um, but I'm sorry. What was I think? What was it? Oh, right. What do I think of Tyler Mane as Sabretooth? I think Tyler Mane looks the part. He looks like the Sabretooth from the comic books and the animated show. I don't want to say that he's not a good actor because they just don't give him anything to do. They don't give him any dialogue really to like he might I think he talks like once. Um you don't get a sense of him and Wolverine having history or that they know each other. I know Wolverine has his memory loss, so that explains him, but why doesn't Sabretooth say, "Hey, you're my brother?" Like there's just nothing there. So, just judging by his looks, Tyler Mane looks the part. Liev Schreiber, though, his acting wise, he's a great Sabretooth. So Liev Schreiber is a better Sabretooth acting wise. Tyler Mane looks more like Sabretooth. And there's Storm and Cyclops. Uh, you don't think Sabretooth is related to Wolverine? Well, in the comics, I believe they're half brothers, right? Now, this movie, there's no relation, but X Men Origins Wolverine is technically connected to this continuity. And in that movie, they're half brother. So I don't. Okay, he speaks here. They knew. That's all he says. I love that Magneto has the magnet balls hitting each other, but they're not connected to anything. Now, Sabretooth was just now wearing Wolverine's dog tag, and Magneto took it off of him. Magneto left it on his desk. Sabretooth went back and grabbed the dog tags off of Magneto's table. So that maybe that is some sort of like subtle hint that Sabretooth knows who Wolverine is. All right. We get introduced to Jean Grey right now. Famke Janssen. Um, wh- why don't you think this is the same Sabretooth? They're both named Sabretooth. There's no reason why it would be a different Sabretooth. X Men Origins Wolverine is not a reboot. You know, it's still connected. It's just like Fox did such a terrible job making these movies make sense, having them be connected. in a sensi- sensible way. Yeah, it's definitely the same Sabretooth. It's just Fox didn't know how to make it all make sense and connect. I love, love that Wolverine is the character that we follow as we get introduced to the X Men, the mansion, him walking down the hallway. We're getting introduced to this world through Wolverine. You're on team same Sabretooth. Well, thank you, Matrix. I've never heard anybody say that they thought it was two different Sabretooth. I've never heard that at all. Cyclops might be your favorite X Men. Cyclops in the cartoon was, I don't want to say he was my favorite, but he was definitely up there because he just, I don't know, he came across as a leader. Would I go to Xavier's school if I was a mutant? Yeah. If I was a mutant and it's like, well, where would I go? Yeah, I would go to his school. I love that Wolverine goes to hide and he just ends up in Xavier's fucking office. What mutant ability do you think you'd have not want? Um, what ability would I not want from? Okay, was that supposed to be Kitty Pryde, the girl who just went through the door? Because that did not look like Ellen Page. So would I not? Okay, that I would not want. I would not want Rogue's powers, also called Storm, also called Cyclops. Oh, so what ability would I want? What ability would I want? I would probably want to. Well, Sabretooth. I love. What do they call you? Wheels. So I love Hugh Jackman's delivery of like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because once again, you're trying to win over an audience that doesn't know the comic books, doesn't know the cartoons. If this is their first X Men anything, Wolverine's the perfect character to have that reaction, so that people in the audience are like, "Oh, okay, it's not. So I'm not an asshole for thinking this is stupid." Um, but yeah, so I was gonna say Nightcrawler's powers would be the most appealing, but I wouldn't want to look like Nightcrawler, right? So that's the difference with being a mutant, is that you can't exactly. Some mutants don't even look human. Some mutants, it's not as easy to hide their powers. Hey, there's Jubilee. That kid was running on water. That's right. Hey, and there's Pyro, even though that's not the same actor that plays Pyro in the next movie. I'm Bobby. Bobby's all over Rogue, isn't he? He's all over that ass. And I gotta admit, if I was Bobby, I'd be using my ice powers too. Welcome to Mutant High. I love that. Dude, Disney Plus could have a show called Welcome to Mutant High. Would you not watch the fuck out of that? If you had a Disney Plus show that just took place at the Xavier School and it focused on the younger mutant characters, who wouldn't watch that? Isn't is Bobby Drake supposed to be gay in the comics? I heard that it was a different Bobby from a different Earth that was gay. I don't think Iceman from the main continuity is gay. I think it's like Earth 2 Bobby is gay, I think. I think. But don't quote me on that. But yeah, if that was Bobby, I'd probably be using my ice powers too to do some like ice fucking flower thing that he did, hitting on girls left and right with that shit. He knows what he's doing. Oh, there's Toad. Toad is the pilot. That was definitely Toad. Interesting. We were talking about guns in schools. Senator Kelly, you would be ice surfing everywhere in school. Yeah, I would probably do some fucked up pranks if I had some ice powers in school, doing some shit. Wolverine has always been your favorite X Men, both in cartoon and live action. I remember liking Wolverine in the cartoons a lot as well. It's hard for me to say if he was my favorite because when I think of Wolverine, I automatically just think of the movies more. Um, I can't remember who my favorite was in the cartoon. I remember liking Jubilee a lot just because she was the youngest and I was very young watching the show. Uh, I remember thinking Cyclops was cool because he was the leader and he just felt like the guy who you trusted to get the job done. Um, there's Mystique, who just knocked out Senator Kelly. Mystique has some great powers. Um, you know, Mystique having the ability to make herself look like whoever she wanted. I mean, how does that not become an appealing power to have? She did fuck him up. She fucked his shit up. She kicked his ass and knocked him out with her feet. She didn't use her hands or arms or anything. She can look and sound like, yeah, right. That's the thing too. She can sound like somebody. I always wondered, and this might sound very weird, a weird question to ask, but does anybody know the answer to this? When Mystique pretends to be a guy, does she have a penis? Like when she pretends to be a dude, does she grow a penis or does she still have lady parts? I know it's a weird thing to think about and ask, but I've always wondered that. Did I used to be an art teacher? What the fuck? No. That's such a random question. Hey, Zach. That's true. That's true. If she pretends to be a guy, her boobs are gone. So it would make sense, right? Here we go. They have Sandra Kelly in a very dark room, creepily. I love how they're all just staring at him. Toad, Sabretooth, and Toad just ate a bird. Gross. Ray Park, like literally right after playing Darth Maul. Who would win, Freddy versus Wolverine? Um, I mean, I think you can't kill either one of them, right? So what do you guys think? Do you guys think Magneto and Mystique are fucking? They definitely are very touchy feely with each other. The Brotherhood of Mutants. The Brotherhood is a very cool name for a group. And Ian McKellen, what's so interesting about Ian McKellen is that I wouldn't say, I don't think he looks the part necessarily as Magneto, but he does such a great job acting wise. And like he just works. He works as Magneto. Um, but I do think Michael Fassbender looks the part more. All right, so this is the moment where Magneto uses the machine that's going to turn Senator Kelly into a mutant. That's a fair point. Wolverine might have the best powers because he doesn't age, or he ages very slowly, and he is self healing. And that's even without the adamantium. Beast does look cool. More so, Kelsey Grammer's Beast in X-Men 3. Nicholas Holt's Beast always looked kind of weird in every movie that he's in. A bullet fell out of his head. What you're talking about, Wolverine? Damn, Jean's really about to read Wolverine's mind. Oh, here we go. Weapon X. We get some flashbacks. Oh shit, Scott. Awkward as fuck. Yeah, good night, Logan. Scott's like, what the fuck are you doing? Logan, stay away from my girl. Oh, and Logan, stay away from my girl. I like James Marsden. I do. I like James Marsden. I wish he had more to do besides just being the other guy. I don't like that Cyclops' real only position in these movies is to just be the other guy opposed to Wolverine for Jean Grey. And what sucks is that I don't even think the movies present Cyclops in a way where he's on the same level of Wolverine, right? Like it's almost like the movies are they want us to root for Jean to leave Scott to be with Wolverine. And I always thought, no, she shouldn't leave Scott. Um, oh, Wolverine waking up and stabbing Rogue like this? Like he's so angry when he wakes up. Damn. And if if it wasn't Rogue, then he would have killed whoever this was, right? Berserker rage. Well, I mean, the idea of Wolverine having those nightmares. I love this though. Seeing Rogue use his healing powers to save herself, basically. And all of the kids are afraid of Rogue. Rogue, man, Rogue is pretty goddamn powerful. Like they're low key saying that, like, yeah, she can take someone's life force, she can temporarily take a mutant's powers, but like when you hear that, holy shit, right? Like that's some next level powers. I mean, obviously, whenever people talk about Rogue from the comic books and things that she's done, if they're not talking about her being with Gambit, they're talking about her stealing Captain Marvel's powers and being as powerful as Captain Marvel is for a short period of time. And I don't know if we'll ever get that in the MCU with Rogue and Captain Marvel, but it's still something interesting to think about. I love Magneto creating a metal bridge for himself as he's walking, though. It's not like he makes the bridge first and then walks. He's making the bridge as he's walking. Excuse me. And I love seeing Magneto manipulate metal. So Senator Kelly was able to like put himself through the bars, slip himself through the bars. And Sabretooth just fucking dropped him. Oops. The greatest X-Men movie of all time. Um, are you asking what the greatest X-Men movie is, or are you saying this? Are you saying this is the greatest X-Men movie of all time? Um, for me, it's between X2 and Days of Future Past. Magneto closing the bars on Sabretooth is pretty funny. All right, here we go. Senator Kelly just popped up on the beach as like a weird watery jellyfish dude. Can't wait for my No Way Home commentary. When it comes out on Blu-ray, I very well just might do that. That could be fun. I've seen the movie. I've already seen No Way Home about 4 times in theaters. Hey, Stan Lee! Is this Stan Lee's first cameo? Well, I shouldn't say that because he showed up in the Lou Ferrigno Hulk show, but I'm talking about a Marvel movie in theaters. Is that Stan Lee's first Marvel movie cameo? Have I seen Let There Be Carnage? Unfortunately, yes, I have seen that. The review is on the channel. Bobby telling Rogue to leave. You have not seen No Way Home. Wow. I didn't realize there were people left who still haven't seen No Way Home yet. So, Bobby being a dick and telling Rogue to leave. Oh, absolutely, they did the Phoenix story better in the animated series. Absolutely. And there's the yellow eyes. It's not really Bobby, it's Mystique. Now, how the fuck did Mystique get into this Xavier school? I thought there was a locked gate. Mystique was able to get through. Well, I mean, I guess she can make herself look like anybody. How would I rank the X-Men films? Um, fuck. So, just for the sake of argument, have I seen Kick Ass? Yes, I have seen Kick Ass. Um, we'll say X2, Days of Future Past. Shit. When you say rank the X-Men movies, do you count Logan and the Wolverine and Deadpool? Do you count the because if you count Deadpool and Logan, then shit, I might need to think about that a little more. uh, I can't count Logan. You don't count Logan as an X-Men movie? Why don't? Why wouldn't you count Logan? Logan's an X-Men movie, right? I did not include Venom in my Spider-Man movies because I, Spider-Man is not in the Venom movies. So I mean, I know Venom is a Spider-Man character, but those movies, I just don't. Those movies just don't feel like Spider-Man related films. Venom. If if Venom started as a Spider-Man villain in the MCU and then spun off into his own movie, then you might have an argument because at least there's a history that happened in the movies. And in the Venom movie, we could reference other Marvel MCU stuff. Right, that's the thing. The Venom movies aren't connected to any of the Marvel movies or any of the Spider-Man movies. It's not even like he's at least he's in the Andrew Garfield universe. He's not. He's not in any of their universes. I think Morbius is gonna suck too. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because they fucking roped in Michael Keaton to be in it. You know, uh, Morbius will have more of a Spider-Man connection than the Venom movies did, and that's scary. Morbius will suck. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think there is a world where these movies could be cool. Oh, there's fake Bobby. Has Storm said anything in this movie? I don't want the Craven the Hunter movie to happen either. It's gonna happen because of they've casted a few people to be in it, but I don't. That sucks, right? That like Storm doesn't have any dialogue uh in this movie. In like the problem, as good as some of the X-Men movies are, the problem is that there's never enough time for all of these characters, right? You're always going to be disappointed with the level of what certain characters were used. You're talking about Craven the Hunter? I mean, the only reason why I know who Craven the Hunter is I think I first saw him in a video game. I forget which one, to be honest. And then he was in one of the animated series, not the '90s one, but it was a different animated series that Craven showed up in. And then I think after the animated show, I went and looked up some comics, did some research, and read up about Craven. So now I know who Craven is, but yeah, if you're talking about, was it the Spider-Man 3 game? Okay. Well then there you go. There you go. Oh, did he show up in the '90s show? All right. Well, you know what? I need to have I seen the first Fast and Furious movie with Paul Walker? Are you new to my channel? I have reviewed all of the Fast and Furious movies, and I continuously talk about how the first Fast and Furious movie is my favorite Fast and Furious movie out of all of them. But yeah, one of these days I need to do like a watch along for the Spider-Man animated series. I want to do X-Men the animated series. Just go on Disney Plus and just watch the fuck out of these shows, man. I need to do it. Hell, I'm even thinking about going back and watching for the first time the Clone Wars and Rebels to get ready for Obi-Wan because I've never seen any of those. Um, how many episodes would I watch? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would have a set number. I think I would just watch it for as long until I got bored. Maybe I don't know. What do I think Stanley's cameo would have been? That's a good question because Stanley's last cameo was Avengers Endgame. He didn't get to be in Far From Home, and he didn't get to be in No Way Home. But truth be told, it probably would have been something quick. Um, we probably just would have seen him watching the news with Spider-Man or Peter Parker being arrested, right? Like, and he would have had some funny like reaction to it. All right, here we go. If you're not watching the movie with me, Rogue and Wolverine are on the train, and Magneto is fucking destroying shit on this train. He's flying in. I never really understood how Magneto could fly. I thought his powers were just to manipulate or metal. So how the fuck does he fly? Unless flying is just another ability he has too. Oh, the moment when Magneto realizes that his whole body is made of metal, and he's lifting his whole body up. This is pretty sick. First time I saw this movie, that surprised me. When Wolverine said, "What the hell do you want with me?" and Magneto said, "I don't want you." And Wolverine looks over to Rogue, and then that's when you realize that Magneto wants Rogue. Um, young people. um, that is a good twist. Again, first time I saw this, you would think that he wanted Wolverine just because Wolverine's the main character, I guess, right? And I mean, well, I guess the machine has to work for Magneto's powers, I guess. Because otherwise, I was just thinking he could use Wolverine for the machine, right? Because Wolverine can heal himself. He won't die from it. But if it has to be Magneto's powers, then you use Rogue to steal Magneto's powers, put Rogue in the machine, and if it kills Rogue, she dies, right? That's Magneto's plan. You Homo sapiens and your guns. This is a great scene. So Magneto turns all of the guns onto the cops, and then Xavier talking to Magneto through Sabretooth is so fucking cool. There are moments in this movie. I'm not going to say this movie is the greatest. Um, the Clone War episodes are out of order. I've heard that. I've heard that. This is so intense. Oh! Magneto just shot off a gun at the one cop, and now he's holding the bullet right in front of the guy's forehead, and he's threatening to kill everybody. Oh, this is so sick. And he reluctantly has to let Sabretooth go. Man. Wow. Good shit. It's such good shit. Oh, and there's Mystique. Mystique can do anything, man. She can fly a helicopter. She can knock people out with her feet. Still unable to make sacrifices. That's what makes you weak, Charles. Again, man. Great moment. Great scene. Great scene. Movie was so far ahead of its time. And I only say that because of just how serious they take it. Um, like maybe special effects and action wise people can tell that it's an older movie, but I think the tone and how serious they take the movie, being X-Man. So we did get a moment with Storm talking. She was talking to Wolverine. Wolverine was telling her that, what the hell are you doing saving humans who hate you? This is stupid. I'm out of here. And Senator Kelly just showed up at their doorstep. I can't tell. Is Holly Berry going for an accent? Because if she is going for an African accent, it's terrible, man. Like, she sounds weird. Like, she doesn't. I don't think Holly Berry can pull off this accent. At least I've chosen a side. Like, what? Like, is that her African accent? I don't know if I said this earlier. I might have said this earlier. Professor Xavier is Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier is the best. It's got to be top 5 best castings for a superhero movie, comic book movie ever. Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, you just can't get any better than that. Um, and I think his performance as Xavier is at its best in the first 2 movies. I think this movie and the second movie, Patrick Stewart's best acting as Xavier. Well, Logan, he's great in Logan too. Um, he's very unlikable in X-Men 3: The Last Stand. He just, I don't know. He makes a lot of decisions that just don't really feel like something Professor X would do. Yep. And yes, I agree. The third movie did Xavier dirty, man. I remember seeing X-Men 3 in theaters and being so disappointed by so many things in that goddamn movie. Disappointed by Cyclops being killed off. Disappointed by Xavier being killed off. Disappointed that Rogue took the fucking cure. Um, Disappointed by Psylocke and how they didn't really use her in the third movie. I think the only thing I did like, I think I walked away with thinking, okay, Jean Grey Phoenix it was very OP, so I guess that's the way you'd want it. Um, okay, here you go. We have a Storm moment right here. She's talking to Senator Kelly. Ah, I gotta be honest. I don't know if it's because of the fact that this is on a Blu-ray, and if this was like remastered or something, but the effects of Senator Kelly turning into that big water blob and dying actually look pretty fucking good. It would have been good to see Alan Cumming return. Oh, he didn't. Did he? Is that why he's not in X-Men 3? Is because he chose not to come back? Because he didn't like the makeup? Oh. Well, that sucks because that was another thing. Watching X-Men 3, I remember thinking, where the fuck is Nightcrawler? That's unfortunate because technically he only played him the one time, right? Like, it says a lot, though, as far as the impact that Nightcrawler had in X-Men 3 and how good Alan Cumming played him, that he only did one movie as Nightcrawler, but yet we fucking remember Nightcrawler. We come out of that movie remembering and talking about Nightcrawler between his unique look and obviously the White House scene is one of the best opening scenes to a superhero movie, maybe ever. I would say top 10 best superhero opening. I mean, obviously, Dark Knight's up there. Kurt Wagner. So Xavier just fell into a coma because Mystique put some like poison shit to Cerebro. Jean Jean Grey using Cerebro for the first time. Did it fuck her shit up? He's going to the Statue of Liberty. Shit. It's such a quick cut, but did Sabretooth just fucking hook that guy from behind with his claws? Because that's pretty brutal. For a PG 13 2000 superhero movie? Yep, Statue of Liberty. So I wonder where. Does anybody know where. What the fuck? Toad just completely crushed that guard? Like landed on top of him and crushed him to death? Is that his superpower? So Mystique just walks around naked, right? I'm not gonna lie, there's something hot about Rebecca Romaine as Mystique walking around with like not a care in the world, not caring who's looking at her. It's the confidence, you know? And now I do like the idea, even though I don't like the fact that Magneto is going to sacrifice Rogue to do it. I do like the idea that Magneto wants to turn everybody, at least in the city, into mutants to sort of show the bigoted humans like, hey, you hated mutants all now you're gonna be one, and now you're gonna see how it is, see what it's like. It's a very cool idea. Liberty Island. Ellis Island. Man, Holly Berry is lucky that she's so attractive. Because that accent's bad. There's the leather outfits. Wolverine hates it. He's so uncomfortable. I love how he can't get comfortable in it. You actually, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex? Now, obviously that was a shot at the comic book looks. And I get it. In the year 2000, that wouldn't work, right? Wolverine, if they put Hugh Jackman in a yellow outfit in the year 2000, this movie would have been a disaster. I might have loved it. You might have loved it, but I think audiences weren't ready for that shit. It's still a shame though that after all these years, we still have not seen Wolverine in his classic costume yet. I do love the X Jet, very much so. Very cool. A storm's coming. But I was mentioning earlier that I think the best, all the actors had a difficult time getting over the small wall when they. Oh, really? But I know the X Men makes sense to do movies, box office. They'll make a lot of money if you put out an X Men movie. If you put out an X Men movie under the MCU banner, it's going to make a lot of money theoretically. But I have for years thought that a live action X Men show is the way to go. Um, and the Wolverine gives Cyclops the finger with his claws. That got a nice laugh out loud moment for sure. Okay, Mystique can turn into a Statue of Liberty statue? I thought she could only turn into like live organisms, or she made herself look like a statue? How the fuck is that possible? Is that a thing? And now we got now we got Wolverine versus Wolverine. And I love the moment where Wolverine cut Mystique Wolverine's claws off, and Mystique Wolverine was like, ah! Like I love that Hugh Jackman had to act like the Mystique version of himself. He does that again in X2. There's a moment in X2 where Mystique pretends to be Wolverine, and Hugh Jackman has to pretend to be that version of. But yes, so live action, an X-Men show. I think it's the only way to do all those characters and not feel like anybody gets shafted, right? There's only so much time in a movie. I know that Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, those movies showed that you could actually do a good job of having a lot of characters and giving them their moments. But at the same time, we never really felt as closely connected to Wanda and Vision until the WandaVision show, right? Until they had their own show. In the movies, Wanda and Vision just kind of felt like they were there, right? So even if you do an X-Men movie that does a decent job at establishing a couple characters or a few characters, X-Men Days of Future Past, yeah, X-Men Days of Future Past had a lot in that movie. And I think Days of Future Past is one of the best X-Men movies at balancing out a lot of characters. Um, Because as much as I love X2, I still feel like Cyclops is severely underused in X2. I think Rogue takes a little too much of a backseat in X2. Um, so I wanted to ask, so you know how Mystique was pretending to be Wolverine? And she drew out claws. Now, were the claws that Mystique withdrew, um, was that there's no way that she can recreate adamantium, right? Mystique can't create adamantium claws or adamantium, however you say it. Her claws were probably just generic metal, which is why Wolverine was able to cut through them so fast. It's just interesting to think about what Mystique is able to recreate uh, versus not. I don't think she can recreate powers. Oh, here we go. Here's the infamous moment with Storm and Toad. Storm looks badass though with the white eyes. Do you know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else. Yeah, that was cringy as fuck. That was cringy as hell, man. And like you could blame Holly Berry because her delivery was bad, but it's also a really bad written line. Like whoever wrote that line. You're not part of the group. The CGI on Mystique transforming there looks a little wonky. But again, for the year 2000, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It doesn't look great on today's standard. Hey, it's me. Prove it. You're a dick. Okay. That's a great moment. That's a great moment. Again, I wish Cyclops had more to do than to just be the other guy to Wolverine, but that was a great moment. Okay. And James Marsden, thankfully, James Marsden has gone on to do a lot of things since this, so that I think people know who James Marsden is. They know him by name. They know that he's a good actor. They know that what he's capable of. Um, so we all know that he is better than what these movies allowed him to do, which makes me wonder, like, what kind of a Cyclops could he be if he was given the chance, right? Joss Whedon wrote that. How do you know Joss Whedon wrote that? Did Joss Whedon write this movie? Screenplay by David Hayter. Story by Tom DeSanto and Brian Singer. Where do you get Joss Whedon from? No, he's dead now. The president of the United States is there? Let me see him. Where he at? Show yourself. Okay, I don't think they show the president here, but I know they show the president in the second movie, and then there's a different president in the third movie. Rogue, you're so full of shit. There you go. Wolverine said it. If you were really so righteous, it would be you in that chair. And he's fucking right. You know, as much as Magneto makes sense, um, his idea of wanting Homo sapiens to see what it's like to be a mutant and to be judged and ridiculed and treated a certain way makes absolute sense. But the second that he puts Rogue in that, it makes me say fuck you, because you're still I love that. The thing about Wolverine is that I do feel like in X-Men 3, especially X-Men 3 and X-Men Origins Wolverine, Joss Whedon was brought in to help write some of the script, not credited. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Hey, what's up, Professor Film Fan? Interesting. So Joss Whedon is to blame for the Toad line? Fuck. You mean all these years when people were crediting Joss Whedon for being this amazing writer, it took the Justice League for us to realize that he's not as great as we thought? In case you're wondering where we are, Sabretooth and Wolverine are fighting on top of the Statue of Liberty right now. Oh, I see. Okay, so Magneto's powers allow her to connect to the chair's arms. That was the trailer moment. I remember that in the trailer where Sabretooth throws Wolverine and Wolverine with his claws latch on to the spikes of the Statue of Liberty crown. It's so funny because Spider-Man No Way Home has a big end battle on the Statue of Liberty, right? It's interesting. to go back to X-Men 1 and that whole end battle, their whole end climax, the third act battle is on the Statue of Liberty. It's kind of like it comes full circle. Why is Sabretooth so obsessed with Storm screaming for him? Oh, did Sabretooth just die there? It's not like we ever see Sabretooth back, right? Sabretooth never comes back, and okay, you have a little bit of Cyclops giving instructions, ordering the group a little bit, a little bit. I still want to see at least one more movie with this original cast. Because the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, when they're back, I mean, who doesn't want to see another movie with that cast? After that scene where Wolverine wakes up and everybody's there, Jean, Cyclops, Xavier, Beast, Rogue, who doesn't want to see that? Oh, there's the white streak in Rogue's hair. You know what I want? I would want an X-Men versus Avengers movie. Now, I know that MCU is probably going to recast the X-Men, and I'm actually okay with that. But and Cyclops just lasered Magneto. I don't want to say he saved the day, but he helped. Do we like this being the explanation for why Rogue gets the white streak in her hair? Oh, Wolverine's willing to let her suck him. Wait, what? Rogue's gonna suck Wolverine. Whoa, hold on. Let's phrasing. Wolverine is going to let her absorb his powers to try to bring her back to life. Oh, here we go. She's waking up. Oh, shit. What the fuck? The moment when Wolverine's hugging her and she absorbs his life force, his energy, and he develops open wounds on his fucking face. Uh, yeah, yeah, MK. I talked about that earlier. Doug Ray Scott was the original casting for Wolverine, and it would not like. I can't even imagine Doug Ray Scott playing Wolverine. I can't. I can't. Um, I've seen Doug Ray Scott, obviously Mission Impossible 2. He was in Batwoman, the TV show, probably some other stuff. But like I don't I don't look at that actor and think, yeah, he would have been a great Wolverine. I look at that actor and think, man, I don't think this movie would have taken off in the way that it does without Hugh Jackman. I don't know how Wolverine becomes this iconic cinematic character that he becomes without Hugh Jackman. I don't think Doug Ray Scott would have been able to pull this off. I don't. I don't. I don't. I think he probably would have done a serviceable, fine, like passable job, but it wouldn't have been like a fuck yeah, I love Wolverine type feeling the way that Hugh Jackman, at least for me, provides. But yeah, there was a moment though. Not only was Wolverine developing open sores, open cuts on his face when he was hugging Rogue, but even his suit, the back of his suit started bleeding. Just like fuck. Um, I do feel like this is the weakest Wolverine is in this movie, and not weakest like it's a bad thing. I just feel like by the time you get to X Men 3, The Last Stand, by the time you get to X Men Origins Wolverine, he's super OP, right? Like he is able to withstand some serious damage and almost not really react to it. Whereas in this movie, he gets hurt a lot, you know? Xavier is telling Wolverine about Alkali Lake. Rather interesting. I mean, obviously, sequels, it's not like sequels weren't a thing, or superhero movies having sequels. Obviously, that makes sense. But it's very interesting how much of this movie does end in a way where they leave enough open for sequels. Oh, and there's Mystique's Senator Kelly. Is Wolverine not going to say bye to Rogue? Oh wait, she saw him. She caught him. Okay, let me ask you guys a question, and I hope it doesn't come across as creepy. How old is Rogue in this movie? And not only that, but does Rogue have like a crush on Wolverine or like an attraction to him? Or is it simply like a fatherly figure thing that she because I can't tell, right? I can't tell if she's attracted to Wolverine or if she just sort of like a big brother type. Um, I feel like she looks at him like she's attracted to him. You know, I don't think Hugh Jackman is showing attraction to her. But I think she's showing attraction to him. She's 18. She's a teenager, and she did have a crush on Wolverine. Well, then there you go. I mean, the only reason why I'm asking is because the movies never address it. There's never a moment where she says to Wolverine, "I always had a thing for you," or "I had a crush on you," or. And I'm not saying they should, but I don't know. I mean, it's just weird at how it's hinted, but never paid off. And I also find it weird that Logan is spending so much time hitting on Jean Grey. Um, oh, you're going off of Anna Paquin's age? Yeah, but so maybe Anna Paquin was 18, but is Rogue supposed to be 18? Right? Maybe I always thought Rogue was like 16 or 17 in this movie. Closer to 16. I love the idea of Magneto being in a plastic prison. I fucking love this. This is great. And I love Xavier visiting him, playing chess with him. You know, this plastic prison. Old friend. I love it. Oh, such a good scene. Oh, whoever designed this plastic prison deserves a huge fucking raise. Holy shit, does that look awesome? She is 16 or 17. That's what I thought. That's honestly what I thought. I thought she was about 16. Um, but right, so with Hugh Jackman or with Wolverine, Wolverine spending all this time hitting on Jean Grey. Jean Grey, mind you, is married. Um, and I get it. Famke Janssen, she's attractive, but she's married. Like, why doesn't Wolverine hook up with Storm? You're telling me that he looks at Storm and he's not attracted to her? Or he doesn't think that, like, okay, Jean Grey is married, so she's kind of off limits. Let's check out this hot fucking Holly Berry white hair looking chick. You know what I mean? I don't know. I always wondered that. I always thought Wolverine should have got with Storm. And so maybe in that way, Wolverine wouldn't have been such a dick to Cyclops so much. Because I actually think Wolverine's in the wrong. I actually think Wolverine is he's wrong going after Jean Grey. Oh, they're not married? Oh. Well, fuck me. I thought they were married. But yeah, so um I think I was mentioning earlier that the MCU is probably going to recast the X-Men characters when they eventually bring them in. But I would love, especially because of Multiverse being she's a whore. Who, Jean Grey's a whore? Fuck. It, yeah, you think so? You think Jean Grey's a whore? Um, but I think that specifically because of the multiverse, yes, Jean is a whore and a sinner. She's definitely married. I thought they were married. I thought Jean and Scott were married, but um, but I want to see Avengers versus X Men, but bring back the original X Men cast: Hugh Jackman, James Marsden, Famke Janssen, Holly Berry, Patrick Stewart, um, Anna Paquin, um, Sean Ashmore. Right, he's the one who plays Bobby. Um, Hell, Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Fuck it, why not? Have them fight the Avengers. How does that explain that Jean Grey had feelings for Logan in X-Men 2 then? Uh, because Jean Grey is trifling. Because Jean Grey is she ain't loyal. That's why I felt because she's a whore. Yeah, I agree. I hope MCU does a better job with Cyclops. I agree. I hope MCU treats Cyclops as good as they treated Captain America, right? I couldn't give a fuck less about Captain America before the MCU. Captain America, I always thought Boy Scout, goody two shoes, not interesting, not a lot of personality there. Didn't think much of him. But Chris Evans, First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War, I was like, wow, Captain America is my favorite MCU character. And that's shocking. Shocking that, like, I could go from not giving a fuck about Captain America to him being my favorite MCU character. That's how good the MCU treated him. I want the MCU to treat Cyclops the exact same way, at least as far as his level of importance to the X-Men group. Think of how important Captain America is to the Avengers. I want Cyclops to be that same level of importance to the X-Men. And in Feige, I trust. So I trust Kevin Feige 1,000% to pull that off. So then there you go, guys. X-Men 2000 or X-Men the movie. This movie has a lot of titles to it, just X-Men. I enjoyed rewatching it. I gotta be honest. I've heard some people who say that the first movie doesn't hold up, that it's very dated, or that it's slow and it's boring. Not a lot of action happens. I love it. Um, I think we'll get a mix. I think we'll mostly get unknown actors, maybe a couple of familiar actors. What's great about the MCU is that they don't need to hire the most famous actors. What's great about the MCU is that they could cast not I don't want to say anybody, but they can cast unknown people in these X-Men roles and we won't bat an eye. We won't complain about it. We'll be like, fuck yeah, that makes sense. Whoever you are that you cast to play Wolverine and Cyclops. Um, the thing is, though, is that it sucks that Fox recasted the X-Men themselves. They recasted them with younger actors, and some of those castings were good to great, like Michael Fassbender as Magneto, James McAvoy as Xavier. Um, I was gonna say Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique, but only in the first two movies. Mystique is terrible in Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, or Jennifer Lawrence. She's terrible in the later movies. But there's a couple of the younger actors that are good in the X-Men First Class, Dark Phoenix, Days of Future Past. But I never really loved Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. Um, I think Famke Jensen, you know, there was something about her that I appreciated. Um, yeah, well, I think Jeremy Renner definitely became like a more household name because of Hawkeye. But I remember seeing Jeremy Renner in a few stuff before Hawkeye. Uh, you know, Fuck, I remember he was in that Born Legacy movie before Hawkeye. I never saw the movie, but I know he was in the Hurt Locker. Oh, in The Town. The Town was the big movie where I knew Jeremy Renner from. The Town. Oh shit. 28 weeks later. Great point. He was in 28 weeks later. He was. Does he die in that movie? I don't even remember if he does. I remember Rose Byrne dies in that movie, and I was very disappointed by that because I love Rose Byrne, 100%. And I remember Idris Elba. When you think back on that cast for 28 weeks later, Rose Byrne, Jeremy Renner, Idris Elba. This is a fucking horror zombie movie, and you have actors at that level. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, okay, so the movie's over, but before I end the stream, I do want to check out some of these deleted scenes because I don't think I've ever watched these deleted scenes. There are one, two, three, four, five, six deleted scenes. I'm just curious. I think this says Storm teaches a class. So at least Storm says something, right? It's weird to think that Hugh Jackman went from the Oklahoma musical to Wolverine. And yeah, yeah, well, the fact that he went from Broadway and musicals to this role, it shows how great of an actor he is. That he was able to. Oh, hold on, wait, what? Storm called Jubilee by name. So Jubilee and Kitty Pryde are asking Rogue about Wolverine. Oh, and that's what makes Pyro try to show off the fire stuff because he overhears the girls talking about Wolverine. That makes sense. Well, there you go. That explains why Pyro did that. Yeah, Halle Berry's definitely trying to do like a South African accent, and that shit ain't it. Again, luckily Halle Berry is easy on the eyes. Oh, he's asking Rogue what her real name is. That's very cool. That was a little longer. It's a shame that Jubilee never was a prominent character in the film she had. Yeah, yeah, that animated show really made me like Jubilee. I know some people think Jubilee's a lame character because oh, she just fucking does firecrackers for powers. Like, what's the big deal? What's so cool about that? And I get it. Um, and I think they tried to make her cool in the comic books when they turned her into a fucking vampire, but I never liked that. So yeah, I agree. I agree. The movies never did Jubilee justice. I got excited when they announced that Jubilee was going to be an actual prominent character in X-Men Apocalypse, and become to find out she's only in like what 2 or 3 scenes in X-Men Apocalypse. They don't do shit with Jubilee in that movie either. I don't. That's why I feel like X-Men needs a TV show that goes on for 5 to 8 seasons, where you can develop these characters, give certain characters maybe a full episode to get into them, right? Like, think about it. Think about an X-Men TV show where the first season, um, let's say the first season's like 8 episodes, right? You get 2 or 3 of those episodes that are specifically centered and focused on certain characters. Uh, and then if a show like that went on for 5 plus seasons, even if you just got one episode of a Jubilee main character episode, right? Her backstory, her on an adventure, her doing whatever. I think that'd be great. I think that would shut a lot of the critiques up as far as we don't get enough of the other characters. Pyro is great. I wish they did more with him and more with him with Iceman. I mean, I kind of wish that they established why they hate each other by the third movie, right? Pyro and Iceman were like good friends, I thought. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say good friends because they had moments of kind of fucking with each other a little bit, right? But at the same time, they were still friends. It seemed like I mean, I guess if Pyro joins Magneto in the Brotherhood, I guess that's enough reason for them to be against each other. But I'm watching this deleted scene of Wolverine hitting on fucking Jean Grey hard, man. And think about it. Wolverine, all Wolverine wants is to fuck Jean Grey, right? Does he really want to be in a relationship with her? Is Wolverine the relationship type? Um, Wolverine might think that he's in love with her. He might think that, but I also think Wolverine has a warped and fucked up sense of what love is, right? So, but it was out of nowhere that Pyro joined the Brotherhood. I agree. I agree. That's I wish that was built up more. That's why I feel like these characters need a show. They need a show where they could fully flesh that shit out. Um, imagine a show where you get one episode where it's more about Pyro and you see maybe where Pyro came from or why he would feel compelled to maybe leave the school, join the Brotherhood, turn bad. Um, I just feel like an X-Men show would fucking kill, man. And even if you wanted to save certain characters for an X-Men movie, like if Marvel wanted to do X-Men movies and an X-Men show, great. Save Wolverine and save certain characters for the movie, and then or maybe you just do a Wolverine film that's in the MCU, but it's just only about Wolverine. And then the show could focus on these other mutants. Maybe that's what they should do. I don't know. I don't know. Um, or maybe you do an X Men show that builds up to the X Men movies, so that like maybe the movies will focus more on a Wolverine or more on certain characters, but characters from the show might have smaller parts in the movies. But because we're watching the shows, we know who they are. So it'll be more of a cool thing as opposed to us feeling like they're being shafted or they're feeling left out. It's like, well, we know we will get more of them in the shows. Maybe that's a way to do it. I feel like I'm watching this deleted scene of Jean Grey and Xavier, and I feel like we don't get a lot of scenes between them besides X-Men 3 when she goes bad and kills him, right? But like just as far as her being good Jean and just talking to him, I like the first movie is where we get the most of that, right? But if we got an X-Men versus Avengers movie, I feel like it would be more impactful to have this original cast, and you can use the excuse of multiverse, right? It only happens because of multiverse. I just feel like it would be more epic. It would be more of a holy shit moment if it was the original Fox cast from a different universe fighting the Avengers from the MCU. And I know that Tony's dead, that Steve Rogers is old, probably gonna die soon, right? Shit. Uh, Black Widow's dead. Um, so I don't know how you get around that. Like, do you? I don't know if you do the Avengers from a certain multiverse where they're still around. You bring back Robert Downey, Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson for like one last movie just to get them to like the main core Avengers group: Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow. Maybe just them, those five versus the main five X-Men: Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm. Uh, why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle because his wife died? Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. As far fetched as it sounds right now, the idea of doing Avengers versus X Men with this particular cast, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness could do a lot of shit to like make this work. You know, absolutely. I just feel like there's so much money to be made off of. Okay, so Ty, I got some bad news about WWE or about 2K22. So the reason why I haven't been streaming the last like 2 or 3 nights is because WWE 2K22 keeps crashing on me. Now, I don't know if it's the game itself or I don't know if it's my PS5. I I've tried looking it up on what to do. I've I've done everything that these articles have said to try to do to fix the problem. Um, yep, I tried to clear. How do you pronounce it? Kachi or Koch, however you pronounce that. I tried to clear that. I tried to rebuild the database. I've restored the PlayStation to the original factory settings. I've uninstalled the game and reinstalled it. Um, Trying to think of what else it told me to do. So basically, I did everything that I'd like to try. I've updated the software uh, of the PlayStation. Kashi? Oh, Kashi? Oh. Um, and then I contacted PlayStation support or customer service, whatever, and they told me that I need to check other games to see if other games crash as well. Because if other games don't crash, then it might just be the game itself. Or if other games crash, then it's the PlayStation. And if it's the PlayStation, then I have to get the PlayStation sent out to be repaired. So, I mean, maybe I could play Cyberpunk, and whatever the problem is that I want to play WWE 2K. You know, I only got to play it for like 2 or 3 days before it started crashing on me. So, and I've tried so many times to play it, and every time, um, I told PlayStation support about how, yes, I told them that the GTA crashed, but the problem is that because it crashed, that was like what, 2 months ago? Because I don't own those games, I got them from Gamefly. The guy asked if they still work today, and I said, well, I rented those games. I don't own them, so I can't test that out right this second. And what does wait? What does wait? What goes in hard and dry comes out soft and wet? Bubblegum. Oh shit. I see what you did there. So yeah, it sucks because I was wanting to play 2K22 like nonstop, and it seems like it's just not in the cards. I don't know what else to do with this fucking PlayStation, this PS5. Luckily, I'm seeing, and I say luckily, I see that this is a problem that a lot of other people are having with their PS5s, and it's been they've been having this issue for like a year, over a year, kind of like since when the PlayStation first came out, and I can't believe that they haven't done a patch to fix this shit. Um, I hope it's for free. It better be fucking for free, because I paid enough for the PS5 itself. I no, I did not cause it. I did not. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I did contact 2K just to see what they would say. What other games do I have besides Cyberpunk to stream? PS5 games. I mean, I only have Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Marvel's Avengers. Um, I mean, I have a few PS4 games, but I don't know. It's just frustrating. You buy a new game. I spent the $100+ on the NWO version because I wanted to play this game early. And then what happens? Did I do 100% on Spider-Man? If I didn't do 100%, pretty damn close. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the X-Men. Oh, there's Rebecca Romaine out of makeup. Anyways, maybe we'll hop on to Twitch and play a game. If you guys want to join me on Twitch, you're more than welcome. Um, I might try WWE again, but let's put it this way. If you see me on Twitch and if I'm not playing WWE 2K22, it's because it didn't work. Uh, so all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Um, hopefully next week we'll do X Men 2, which is arguably, possibly the best X Men movie of all time. All right, guys. Take care.